Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. So around 2 weeks ago, on August 31st, the goofiest prison escape happened. As you can see here, this guy just climbed up the wall, got to the roof of the building, jumped over a barbed wire fence, and ran to his escape. He had been awaiting transfer to state prison after being sentenced days earlier for first-degree murder, which we'll get into. And he would have gotten away too if it wasn't for those pesky little heat-seeking drones. That's what helped catch him. The DEA loaned their heat-seeking drones to the Pennsylvania State Police to catch him. We gotta talk about this. So who is he? Danilo Cavalcante from Brazil. He was convicted last month of first-degree murder for the killing of his former girlfriend, 33-year-old Deborah Brandao, and sentenced to life in prison. According to prosecutors, Cavalcante stabbed Brandao 38 times in front of her two young children in Pennsylvania in April 2021. He was arrested several hours after the killing in Virginia, and authorities said he was attempting to flee to Mexico and intended to later head to Brazil, his native country. We'll get to why the police think he did that. The prison didn't even know he was gone until like an hour later when they were doing the head count. The prison tower guard on duty when Danilo escaped was fired. To be a man without a plan, he got pretty far. Authorities said over the weekend that Cavalcante had slipped out of the initial search area, shaved and changed his clothing, stole a vehicle to travel miles to seek aid from former co-workers in the northern part of the county, and then abandoned the vehicle, at least in part because it was low on fuel. Then, late Monday, a motorist alerted police to a man matching Cavalcante's description crouching in the darkness along a line of trees near a road in northern Chester County. Police found footprints and tracked them to the prison shoes identical to those Cavalcante had been wearing, and or also all the other prisoners as well, because it's not like they had different shoes for each prison. Anyways, a pair of work boots was reported stolen from a porch nearby. State police said they believe he was looking for a place to hide when he saw an open garage. There, he stole a .22 caliber rifle and ammunition and fled when the homeowner, who was in the garage, drew a pistol and shot at him several times, which must have been crazy. Imagine being there, working in your garage, cleaning up, doing whatever, hearing the alerts, because everyone in that area have heard of the guy who escaped jail. It's not a big town. That area had 2,600 people or something like that, and they had 500 cops looking for them. The schools were shut down. A lot of stuff was shut down because of that manhunt. And then here's this guy just walks in your freaking garage. Even if you can't identify him yourself, I get just start shooting at him because, you know, you never know. First of all, don't go in people's garages, whether you're running from the law or not. You're looking for trouble. So even though Cavalcante wasn't hit in that encounter, he did get away with the rifle, which came with a scope and a flashlight. That led hundreds of law enforcement personnel to search an area of about 8 to 10 square miles near South Coventry Township, roughly 30 miles northwest of Philadelphia. Cavalcante's escape was big news in Brazil, where prosecutors in Tocantins state say he is accused of double qualified homicide, which is basically first-degree murder over there, in the 2017 slaying of Walter Jr. Moreira dos Reis, which is crazy. Come on, 5 names? Oh, well, no. Dos Reis is 1 name. So 4 names. Come on, 4 though? You're not gassing a little bit? They juicing. Anyways, in the municipality of Figueireópolis, which authorities say was over a debt the victim owed him in connection with repair of a vehicle, which the DA believes is why he killed his girlfriend. The DA thinks Cavalcante basically silenced the only person that could turn him in for that crime in Brazil. So he killed her to silence her and ended up being found guilty of murder in Pennsylvania. So when he escaped, it was big news in Brazil because it was like, oh, that guy is wanted here for a murder here. So basically he was wilding all over the world. And if his goal was to go back to Brazil, he probably wouldn't have got caught there. It's way easier to get low in Brazil than it is to be here. Because in Brazil, he wasn't arrested, right? He was just wanted for that murder. Here, he was already arrested, tried, found guilty, and was about to go serve his time, life in prison. In waiting to transfer prisons, he made his escape. So that's why they went so hard in trying to get him back, bringing in 500 officers. So while hiding out, Cavalcante knew police were closing in on him, and he was planning to carjack someone soon to flee the country. He said he wanted to go to Canada before later going to Puerto Rico. And that just proves, obviously all of this is dumb, but that just proves that he's a dumb person. You thought he was about to go to Canada? You thought he was about to drive to Canada? Do you not know that that's a border, that they're gonna have to check your papers and who you are and what you're doing and what you want? What would he have told them? What he would have have just got arrested up there. Like, they should have just let him go at the end of the day. Just gotten a call from Canada's border like, hey, you guys missing somebody? We don't know about this dude. He's a little shaky. And then Pennsylvania State Police would have said, yeah, just hold him. We'll be there in the morning. Don't even trip. But he wouldn't have got into Canada. So it's just a terrible plan. I'm not saying what he did was, obviously this is the bad guy. He killed someone in Brazil over a debt, then went to the US, killed his girlfriend to make sure she didn't snitch on him. His whole world was caving in on itself. But even then, man, you almost got away. But your plans was just stupid. You thought he was about to go to Canada? What would you have done? That's stupid. It's just stupid. From the goofy way he escaped, all of this is stupid. So during these last 2 weeks, they say Cavalcante was a, quote, desperate man, surviving in part on watermelons he's found on a farm and drinking stream water. He was actively avoiding apprehension, and shortly after he escaped from the prison, he had hunkered down in an area that was very, very secluded, very, very wooded, and he didn't move for the first couple days, said Clark, which is Robert Clark, deputy for the US Marshals. He survived on nothing but watermelons and stream water for 2 weeks until he was caught, which is the point of this story. He was caught, but look how close he was. They say the prison escape upended lives in South Coventry Township, which has a population of just over 2,600 people. About 500 law enforcement officers, including members of the Pennsylvania State Police, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and that's ATF, the FBI, and US Marshals, have set up a perimeter in the wooded areas. They brought 500 cops to a town of 2,600 people. My high school had double the amount of people. They brought 500 people, which is like 20% of the whole town, and they still didn't find him for 2 weeks. During his 2 weeks on the run, Cavalcante was spotted inside homes, managed to slip through police search perimeters, stole a van, changed his appearance, showed up at the doorsteps of people he knew years ago, and stole a firearm. After he was caught, Cavalcante claimed that the officials almost stepped on him while he was hiding, or came within yards of him 3 times during the search, which is crazy. Imagine how he felt. They're stepping around him and they didn't even catch him. Police say that just proved to you how thick the vegetation was. It was just an immense area to search. You see, we have a map here where the prison is, where the search area was, and look where they actually ended up finding him. Far away from that. He was out of there. He was out of there. Police sent out several reverse 911. Hold on. And this is the part which is a little weird, which I don't like. Police sent out several reverse 911 calls to residents, warning them of the danger and advising people to lock their doors. Some schools and businesses closed due to police activity or simply fear. What do you mean reverse 911 calls? The police can just call people's houses? Like, yeah, you can say it's for a good thing, but that's not okay. That's some big brother type stuff. Like, this is not good. That's not a good thing for the government to just be like, oh yeah, we can call you whenever we want. What you mean? How do you even get my number? Like, how did that even go? You didn't even just text me. You called me. First of all, don't call me. You can't just call me. People don't just call me. You gotta text me. What did it even say on the call? Like 911? Do you even pick up if it says 911? I wouldn't pick up. What do you mean? What would they even say? You pick up like, hello? And they're like, yo, who is this? It's 12. Don't worry about it. But there's a guy on the loose. Like, what do you mean? First of all, how did you even get my number? Who gave you my number? Like, what are you doing? What are we doing here? This is not okay. I get it's important to get the escaped prisoner. Sure. He's a killer and whatever. But don't call me, bro. Who do you think you are? What's going on here? Yet on Wednesday, residents got a reverse 911 call of a different nature. I hate that they got a name for it. This is not okay. Like, that's not okay for a society for the police to be able to call you whenever they want. It's really not okay. But anyways, they say this is a message from Pennsylvania State Police. The search for Danilo Cavalcante is over. The subject is now in custody, they said Wednesday morning. So how did they even catch him? He was arrested just before 8:15 a.m. Wednesday in a wooded area north of Prizer Road and west of Route 100 in South Coventry Township. A security alarm went off at a home within the search area shortly after midnight. Nothing was found there, but it brought additional crews to the scene. Then an aircraft, which is a drone, provided by the DEA, picked up a heat signal using thermal technology near the area of Prizer Road and Route 100 at about 1 a.m. They used a DEA drone. First of all, come on, that's lazy. Come on. If this is the game of cat and mouse, you can't use heat-seeking drones. That's not fair. I don't know if this is supposed to be fair or not, but come on. Your job is to catch them. Their job is to get away. It is what it is. You can't use heat-seeking drones. That's not fair. That's not fair. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. You can't just do that. That's not. But the aircraft had to land due to severe weather, but a tactical team secured the area on the ground until the storm passed. The searchers on the ground got into a ring that was tight enough that, quote, they were within eyesight of each other on the inside perimeter, said the U.S. Marshals. They were able to move in very quietly. They had the element of surprise. Cavalcante did not realize he was surrounded until that had occurred. That did not stop him from trying to escape. Of course, that's what you do. He began to crawl through thick bushes, taking his rifle with him as he went. One of the Customs and Border Patrol teams released a canine. The dog subdued him in a struggle, leaving Cavalcante with a bleeding scalp wound. He was first bitten on the forehead, then the dog clenched his thigh and held on. That's when Cavalcante submitted. An officer got him in handcuffs. Clark said, I think he was in pain at that point. He was probably in excruciating pain. Oh, no, duh. The dog bit him in the forehead. No shots were fired during the capture. If a dog bites you in the forehead, you don't need no shots. He was seen bloodied while wearing a gray Philadelphia Eagles hoodie after he was taken into custody on Wednesday. It is not known yet where he obtained the clothing. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro said he wants to help the person who owned the shirt. Folks, whoever had their Eagles hoodie stolen, if you could let us know, I'll do my best to get you one of those new Kelly Green ones. It's pretty funny. That's a light way to talk about this, you know. One of the things he said at the end was he knew he had to pay for what he had done, but he wasn't willing to pay for it with his life. Come on, if you're gonna play the cat and mouse, you gotta play the whole thing. Don't be a coward at the end. You can't kill all these people and then be like, okay, whoa, I don't want to, I don't want to die. Jesus Christ, oh my God, don't. Let's be civil here. That's crazy. So yeah, he killed someone in 2017 and then killed his girlfriend in 2021 to cover it up. Escaped 2 weeks ago, got found Wednesday, and now I'm sure is just plotting his next escape. You don't just escape all that and then say, you know what? You got me. I'm done with this life of running. No, as soon as he sees any open door, he's out of there. Which, to be fair, let's talk about it. Put a 22 in the chat. If you were given a life sentence, would you take any opportunity to run? Of course. What's your life goal at that point? Just rot in jail, in prison? No, it's to escape. Any chance he gets, he's trying to get out of there. Why wouldn't he? At the end of the day, what else does he have to look forward to? It's not like he's getting a death penalty where he's just waiting on his, you know, on the end date. There is no end date. As long as you're alive, you're gonna be in here. Or it's like, well, as long as I'm in here, I'm trying to get out. I think that's fair, man. I'm not saying if you escape from prison, you should be let go. I'm just saying, I understand.